What's up, guys? Welcome to Frank's Media and Reviews. Today's video is a 4K review of a horror musical classic, and that's 1986 Trick or Treat, which is directed by Charles Martin Smith. This is released by Red Shirt Home Video, but it's in partnership with Synapse Films. And this was a first-time watch for me, guys, and I had a blast watching it. Yeah, so if you like these type of videos, hit the like and subscribe button. If you do, I really appreciate it. Check out my tier memberships. That starts as low as $1.99. And a thank you to my tier members. As I stated, this was a first time watch. I knew that this was a heavy metal type of movie, the soundtrack, and so but I honestly was not prepared for Tony Fields to play such a great metal artist / villain in this film, because he commanded the screen. Without a doubt, he was easily my favorite character of this film. Speaking of characters and actors, Tony Fields, again, plays Sammy Kerr. Mark Price is Eddie. Lisa Organlini. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that last name right. I'm probably not. But anyway, she plays Leslie. And then there's Kevin Yeager. He plays like the bully, who's actually really good in this film as well. I think those two are my favorite actors in this film. And of course, it is special appearances by Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne. And so this film, if you haven't seen it, like I didn't see it until watching this film on the 4K formats. It's about Eddie is just a teenage outcast and who idolizes, obsessed with Sammy Kerr. Sammy Kerr is a hard rock artist who does some stage scenes, kind of like Alice Cooper and all of those like late 70s or maybe 70s 80s type of extreme stuff. They show him in this movie ripping a snake open with his mouth and drinking the blood. And like Ozzy Osbourne did that as well with a bat, I believe. Sammy, unfortunately, his character dies. And the cool thing is when Eddie is mourning the death of his idol, Sammy, he goes to the local radio host, local station, and the host is Gene Simmons. And again, I was shocked because he just looks so normal. The character, Gene Simmons, who plays Nuke, he gives him this type of record, which is one of Sammy's songs, and the way that Nuke plays, Gene Simmons plays this character, Nuke, I thought was really good. Again, it's a special appearance. He's only on screen for a few minutes, but the short amount of time that he's in this film, I thought it was really good. What leads up to, Eddie playing the record, it starts a path of basically Sammy getting his like revenge. It just kind of goes into a weird sequence of things just happening. It's funny because I recently saw Shocker. I'm going to talk about in another video, but the similarities to Shocker and this film is actually pretty funny, just because in Shocker the bad guy goes from one body to another, but it's that electricity that transforms transitions from one person to another, but then also they go through the TV as well, and some of the scenes in this film, a bunch of like static electricity and the entity, I guess, of Sammy comes out, and he has a burnt half of his face is burnt, and that looked really good. So practical effects looked very good in this movie, and yeah, and so it's just kind of goes from there, because there's another in that same scene, Sammy kills a couple people through the TV, and so again, that's where the similarities of Shocker kind of comes into place. But moving forward, overall, I did have a good time with this film. I thought that the practical effects look phenomenal, and that translates very well on this 4K transfer. And I think there's like just enough silliness, but a little bit of horror aspect, including a creature that's in the film only for like a short couple seconds, but leading up to that specific scene, you can just tell how Eddie really gets to take over his victim, and just kind of kills those type of people, or at least those individuals. And so yeah, I thought that was just a pretty cool little thing. And yeah, I just had a good time with the film. So I think, without ruining anything too much, again, the music was fantastic. And the movie as a whole was pretty good. So it's not like one of my favorites. However, I can see why this movie is considered a cult classic, because the soundtrack is pretty damn good. There's this villain that is pretty badass, and again, Tony Fields plays him very well. And the movie knows what it is, and it just goes for it. Did forget that Ozzy Osbourne, who's in this film a few times, he plays this religious minister, or whatever the character is, but he plays him very well as too. I mean, both Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne were very good in this film for the times that they were in this movie, because I know they're prominent names, they're icons, they're music icons, but they were only in this film for a little bit. So the marketing, I did see some of the marketing, like back in the day, how it just mostly shows them like on a cover, which is kind of misleading, but you do what you can to sell tickets or get people to buy the movie. So I do have to say, Ozzy Osbourne was fantastic and took me by surprise with his appearance. He did not look like what I, again, traditionally have seen him, what he looks like. So very, very cool. As far as the 4K transfer, this is in Dolby Vision, and this movie looked fantastic. Like, especially with the scenes of Sammy initially coming out with at the boys at Eddie's home, the static electricity, like lightning. That's what it seems like, just going throughout the room. Again, close-ups to the faces look phenomenal. The outside daytime scenes look very good. Again, even at nighttime scenes, towards the end of the movie, the close-up looks very good. I had no complaints with the 4K restoration. It's taken from the 35 negative. And it just looked phenomenal, man. There was really, really, really no complaints at all. Though I guess the only super minor thing, I wish this was in Dolby Atmos, because of the music, but 5.1 perfectly fine. There's also so a DTS Master 5.1, and then it's a 2.0 as well. But it looks fantastic. It sounded really good with that 5.1. This release also comes with a soundtrack, which again is right over here. I did an unboxing for this, but I'll show you guys really quick. So this is the record, or the little label, the EP, or is it LP? I can't remember. I apologize. But yeah, that Gene Simmons gives to Eddie. And so that's what that is, that he plays and somehow summons Sammy. But there's 9 songs in the soundtrack. Again, that's the 4K. You can see Ozzy Osbourne is right there. Really good in this film. And there is the Blu-ray with Sammy right there. Phenomenal transfer. This is a fantastic release by Red Shirt Home Video and Synapse, man. Oh my gosh, I really like this release. 3 different variants with this film, and I got cover B, and I wanted to give credit to all the artists for this release, because it looks really cool. This is the one. This is my favorite, which again is cover B. It's right here. Back looks really cool. Right there. There was only 6,666 made, and yeah, so only 2,222 divided by all 3, or sorry, each of those 3 variants. And then the artists themselves was Justin Osborne, Sean Longmore, and Devon Whitehead. I think that this one is Sean Longmore with cover B. But again, an amazing 4K transfer. What I simply loved about this release, it was not only the designs, the various designs, the art cards, all the kind of bells and whistles that went into this release, was the special feature. Oh my gosh. It is one of the best special features that I have seen this year. It was phenomenal. It's a 120-minute documentary about the making of Trick or Treat, and it was incredible. Seriously, it was amazing, and you could tell a lot of work went into the Trick or Treat documentary. It's a brand new documentary for this film, and again, it was very informational for this film. And there's tons and tons of information about it, about Tony Fields, unfortunately what happened to him, how he passed away, but just the way you could tell that many like the directors and the people who worked in this film, the actors, they simply loved Tony playing Sammy. Again, he commanded the screen. The director talks about how Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne, about their roles in this film. Gene Simmons is interviewed in this. Ozzy Osbourne wasn't, but it was very cool listening to the director about just the behind the scenes type of stuff, about this film. So highly recommend seeing the great documentary, the making of Trick or Treat, right after seeing this film. It was so good, guys. Seriously. Other special features, because there's a ton of them. I'm going to put it up here as I normally do. But yeah, tons of there's new commentary And there is the all new 5.1 sound mix as well. Again, the audio sounded pretty good for 5.1. There's audio conversation with a couple people and the authors of Satanic Panic, Pulp Culture, Paranoia in the 80s. Dude, yeah, I mean, there is tons and tons and tons of special features. Go over the special, yeah, dude, in the spotlight, a tribute to Tony Fields. That was very good. The horrors, Hollowed Grounds, the filming locations of Trick or Treats, After Midnight music video, the trailers, TV spots, radio spots, all that type of stuff. But again, the documentary, guys, see that because it is so good. But that's the video. Again, something that I really wanted to bring up, and this is on topic, and I don't know how many people actually are going to watch this. If I'm being honest, we all know those who zone out after a few minutes, but for those who are actually watching and listening, thank you so much. I wanted to talk about something really quick, and it's from Ken from Mid-Level Media. He did his review of this film. This was a first-time watch for him, but there was a comment on there how it talked about like it was people because of him that kind of just ruined physical media, at least because it was a blind buy, and blind buyers are ruining physical media for those who truly love said films. And so I blind buy all the damn time for films that, obviously I haven't seen, but some that I wanted to see are this one. I've never even heard of this film until really becoming a physical media, a content creator, a YouTuber. And yeah, so there was a lot of hype on this film, and I didn't want to miss out. So I got this film, and yes, this movie was expensive, at shipping, of course. So it was like $70, it looks like $72 that I paid for. So it was an expensive blind buy. But I really disagree, and I can see where that commenter is what he's saying, just because of the whole resale market. But for people like me, I'm not going to resell this. I know Ken's not, but so there's people who ruin that type of experience, potential experience for people who really love this film. But yeah, I had to disagree with that sentiment. Again, you guys can chime in as well, but that's part of the beauty of blind buying, is experiencing it for the first time on a top of the shelf transfer. And so, yeah, I don't know, man. That's just my 2 cents. Thank you guys for watching and this long and everything. And just, I love to hear you guys' comments down in the comment section. So again, let me know what you think about that. But thanks for watching the video, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. If you do, I really appreciate it. Thank you to my tier members: Big Daddy Warbucks, John from Let's Talk Entertainment Media, William Driver, and Insomniac. And guys, have a good one.